This is the Villanova reaction show to yesterday's brilliant 3-1 win away at Peterborough. We're going to look back on yesterday's game. We're going to look forward to the January transfer window. January sales have started. Huddersfield have already announced a signing that's coming in on the 1st of January. Fingers crossed that we are doing the same, although I won't hold my breath too much. And then we're going to look forward to New Year's Day's game as we welcome Wrexham to Oakwell. Let's get stuck into it. So, Andy, we expected a high-scoring game from when we previewed it. When you sort of look at Peterborough's defensive frailties this season, I think they were on show again yesterday, but much more clinical in terms of actual finishing from us. And again, another set-piece goal from new set-piece coach Conor Hurrian, 2-in-2 now, which we scored from, and one that I think I've seen a video of comparing it to a corner he took at Wembley against Millwall, where he tried the exact same thing to Sam Winnall, who actually put it over the arch of Wembley with how high it went. But very, very different outcome for DKD, who put us to the good. So a very, very strong win.
Still done them 3-1.
It is.
Both games 3-1.
Lots of similarities.
Yeah, after the debacle that was Orient, we made a strong comeback against Bolton, and it looked like we weren't, for a while it looked like we weren't going to get our just desserts against Bolton, but we did. Ultimately, at the last sort of 10 minutes, we got our just desserts, and it made us all a lot more positive. Our away form, and then going down to Peterborough, who've been a footy team, pretty low down, surprisingly this season, scoring a lot of goals but conceding a lot of goals. So we went there reasonably, I would have said reasonably buoyant. So it had 0-0 all over it, based on that we're going to be about 7-6 in the end. I thought we played really well. We dominated to start with. They started to come back into it. 0-0. Max Waters had a good chance. Goalkeeper made a good save, and then our goalkeeper made a good save. Killipin has had some stick, including from me, but he made a good save. I think against, I'm sure it were against, with Jay Jones or one of the others. I can't remember who missed it. From close in, he got a block on it. So then we come to the second half, and very early in the second half, Alan's new best mate, Dominic Pines, brother of Donovan Pines, popped up. And we've said all the way along, the one thing about Donny is he don't hang back. He gets his foot in. He don't divil about. Oh, after you. No, are you going to shoot? Shall I shoot? He gets in and attacks it. Smack, get in. No mucking about. Prods it in like a good one. So it's 1-0, and we're all up and shouting, and it's all good stuff. And then, just as you say, we'll get to Conor Hurrian, because he's had a bit of stick about not playing. And people get upset and whatever about it. But it seems to be working, if it is indeed coming from him, because if you noticed, all the players moved towards the back stick and took all their players with them. And you knew something was going to be different. The way our players were lined up, which weren't far off the goal, off the goal. It weren't sort of at the edge of the box, quite near to the goal line. But it was O'Keefe taking it, so an outswinger. So it seemed a bit odd to look at. They all went with him, and obviously put it nice across the floor. So Manchester United used to do that quite often, and they to Scholes and what have you, and they peels away DKD, who get on one with goalkeeper, and he doesn't seem to want to be able to score, but he got away from him to think straight where it were going to be, and what a finish! He leathered it. Goalkeeper diving in vain. Nobody's stopping that. He leathered it to make it 2-0. And it's all nice and easy. And, we're doing pretty well. They brought a couple of subs on. They brought that lad Mills on, who I thought brought him a bit of energy, attacking and trying to get down the wing and take players on. Bit of energy. And then the referee did what referees do. Soft as hell, a penalty. There would be 10 penalties a game if that penalty were given, as it was for Peterborough. Soft as they come. In fact, I think Waters got pulled down at least as badly as that. But anyway, so he gives a penalty. They deserve nothing, but they get the penalty. 2-1. Killip, I'm not sure what he were doing. Staggered one way, staggered the other way, and then fell over. Um, but he stroked it in, and it's 2-1. You think, game on. And then Mills, some people think differently. I think he went in like a head the ball. He couldn't get the ball. Oh no, Keeps coming with CrossFit ball. He went in like a head the ball, straight onto his leg. Some people say, oh, it were harsh, it was soft, it should have just been a yellow. I don't think their manager thinks it were a free kick or a foul or a booking, or not like that. For me, he could have broken his flipping leg. I thought it was a disgraceful challenge. He went in like a fool. Reckless. I think that's the word you want to say, reckless. Other people can think differently. I thought he deserved his sending off because he went in like a fool. No need for that sort of challenge in this modern game. But he did, so they're down to 10 men. And then the pièce resistance. Right, as we're going on, what should happen? We get ball, nice bit of passing. Johnny Russell strolls forward because he can't run fast. Strolls forward, dinks this way, dinks that way, dinks onto his weak foot. In my view, can't find anybody to pass to. So he thinks, may as well have a shot. What a beautiful clip past the goalkeeper. He placed that beautifully. He didn't just leather it, he placed it beautifully out of the goalkeeper's range. 3-1, nice and easy. Thank you very much.
Oh, there you go. Thank you very much indeed. Al, as Andy's mentioned there, a fantastic finish from John Russell, who probably one of those, he probably is the midfielder we would have expected to potentially come out to try and get Emma Carlin a little bit more alongside Luca, alongside Adam Phillips, sort of to get that best free in. But I think since he has come into the side, he's had the occasional bad game, but he's been fairly consistent. I think we have been missing sort of those players who can give you 6 or 7 every week.
It is, isn't it? I mean, he's been having plenty of practice, hasn't he? He's been sending balls up to the moon and going around orbit, hasn't he? I mean, what was that other week from about 8 yards out? It was easier to, he could have placed it anywhere and it went over bar. So,
I bet it's thrilled you're bringing that up, Al.
oh, what? Well, you've got to, but it was a decent performance. I thought, first half they both matched each other. And then yet again, like at Bolton, our second 45 were just pure class. When we come out and got that quick goal, it just Donny Pines, it was brilliant. So yeah, we're on about that. We scored first one from a long throw in, and then that second one, I watched it back several times. What a run from DKD from back and loop round to get that short corner and put it straight in. Credit, they keep saying with too many coaches, but they've worked well. And I think, according to Darryl Clark, what I heard him and his presser, they talked about it at half time. They'd been watching how they'd been setting up, and they changed it at half time and decided to bring that play into the game, which credit to everybody. And happy Christmas to all Barnsley fans of Barnsley Football Club. 6 points after 6. There is a Santa in town.
There is. This is a Christmas miracle.
He's wearing red and white, Al.
Oh, ho, ho.
Too easy. Craig, it's nice to see that we are profiteering a lot more now from these set pieces, because it does feel like something, especially when we've got, we could have on the pitch at one time Sam Crosgrove, Josh Earl, Mark Roberts, Dominic, in brackets, Donovan Pines, MDG. Like we can go and fill a box with 3, 4 players, 5 players that are 6'4" and above, and really make the most of it. It feels like we never really do that, but it's nice that we've got a little bit more creative now with the set piece. It's not just the same every time of launch it into the box, hope for best.
I think that was it. I think that's why he got the run he did, because ultimately everybody was thinking about the big guys in the box and forgot about the little guy with the lethal right foot. It was a fabulous set piece play. I think absolutely marvelous, and then the finish. You talk about power, accuracy, bottom corner, perfect finish. And I think it surprised everybody, fans. Nobody were expecting it, so well done, whoever. Well, Connor, I think Connor did it, and working with DKD, and yeah, we need that variation. We can't just expect to loft it in and get results. Even if we have like 5, 6 big men, I think you need to have a strategy. It's just like anything else in the game. There's no point going into a game and not having a plan for I mean, if we look at last game that we had at home, they were just lofting to back post because they knew we had nobody to stand there, and it took a full stand to shout and get somebody to move to the back post. So
2 goals.
yeah, well that's it. So yeah, absolutely brilliant, and for the win, I think we fully deserved the win. Just like at Bolton, I thought we fully deserved the win. We were on top in majority of the game. Um, I would say Killip needs to work on his Cruyff turn a little bit. Um, I would say Connell needs to stop doing the blind passes that he keeps doing where he doesn't look behind him, because twice he did it yesterday where he passed it straight to one of their players. You can't just expect to know where everybody is. At least glance and look. Um, I think Con Clark helped us out a lot because his passing. I mean, I think he did about 3 or 4 good passes for them, but the vast majority were out of play or they were straight to our play. I think he was really poor for them in middle of pitch. Mothersill, I think he's a very good player, and after the 20th minute, I watched them, the two strikers of Peterborough, and that lofted ball over the top were causing us some real issues. Donovan Pines got his yellow card because he couldn't keep him off him when he was trying to shield the ball. He fell on the ball and then palmed it out. Um, and But I think all in all, I think we did well riding that. Their penalty, softest thing I've ever seen. Like we've seen some things at Oakwell where people have literally been dragged down by the scruff of the neck and not got nothing. That will barely a push. If anything, I think he was just trying to pull him back to keep up with him, not
I
push
think you're
him.
pulling him back to stop him falling down.
He was stumbling. He was
Yeah.
stumbling as soon as he felt him
Going
behind
down.
him. But going
So
to the Sills penalty, Craig, should he have took it again? Because you shouldn't stop
you're not allowed to stop your run. It didn't stop.
Didn't
He
stop.
stuttered. It went into slow motion. I think that's what he'll say. That it didn't stop movement. It just went really slow. Either way, I think you need to still run up and boot it. I don't get all this stuttering stuff. It does me head in. But all in all, they got a really soft penalty. The red card. Now watching it live, I thought that's a yellow card. I thought that's not a red. Looking back at it, it gets him just above the ball of the ankle, and that is a really painful one. If you get caught there with somebody's full weight behind it, and it did seem to be lunging as well, you could call that out of control. So looking at the time, I was like, well, that'll make up for a penalty. Um, Looking back at it, I think he deserves a red. I think there was no way we were going to catch him, so we thought, right, I'll just take him out then. And that basically were their last chance of ever getting back in the game, because after that, we we just controlled the game after that. But yeah, all in all, I thought it was a brilliant game. Russell, I think the club must have told him that he's going to have to start paying for the balls he shoots with now, which is why he took a little bit more time on this one and placed it rather than just booting it. Because I think there's a few still in orbit, you know. So yeah, but the celebrations at the end I really enjoyed. Cotter, Daryl Clark. I will just say on Daryl Clark as well. I don't think everybody a few games ago were asking for him to be sacked. I know I said that he wasn't doing particularly well at the start of the season, but I don't think watching this team play over the past month and a half, I don't think you can blame the manager for a lot. Like before, I could see that they were making changes that were making us worse. But over the past month and a half, he's stopped tinkering so much. And now it just seems to be individual mistakes that were costing us games, not managerial changes. So for me, I think we've got the right coach. We just need a few more players to for challenging for playoffs. I still don't think the squad's strong enough, because we will get injuries, we will get people banned, people will lose games because of yellow, red cards or whatever. Um, so I would just ask for a few more quality signings in January.
I would say on that, you got to think though, we are sort of in the middle of a defensive injury crisis
Yeah.
when you look at Robbo and Earl being out, which are two two of the three that we're normally seeing, and we're doing okay with it.
Got to say, McCarthy's playing well. To say he's had the best part of 2 years out. Best part of 2 years out. And Pines as well. I think he looks clumsy, but he's effective. And I don't know if he's really, really good or really, really lucky. Does anybody else feel like that with Donovan Pines? Because when he's put under pressure, it's like everything moves in slow motion. You don't know what he's going to do. It's
good to have ball playing centre halves.
Lads, what surprised me yesterday were MDG driving forward and taking 3 or 4 players on. I mean, we were pushing up. Our defenders were going at their defence. That surprised me.
I've just put that in my notes as well. 25th minute, I kept seeing O'Keefe cutting in, inverting from fullback and allowing Desjardins to get a little bit forward, and Phillips was sticking more to right. So it seems to be a tactical thing that they were doing, whereas as if Phillips is out on that right-hand side, O'Keefe will come inside, and if Phillips is in the middle, he'll go on the outside. So, like I say, it's just little things like that you notice during the game, but that helped us because they were playing a narrow formation, so it gave us an extra body to defend against them, and that nullified them in the first half.
What I do like, Craig, is that lots of people talk, and rightly so, about it's good to have ball playing centre halves, but we're not all Man City. Even Man City is not Man City at the minute. So it's good to have ball playing centre halves, but sometimes we've been calling out, stop prattling about with it at the back. We need somebody big, strong, and as me and Al would say, Brussen, and that's dumb. That's dumb Pines. Brussen. He don't muck about, gets a foot in, gets a barge in, gets stuck in, scores because of it. That's what you want. You don't want all this tickling about at the back sometimes. It looks nice and easy until we get to when other teams score. So sometimes you just need a big Brussen centre half, and we've got one.
But yeah, he's actually effective at getting his foot in as well. I've noticed like some defenders will shy away from putting the foot in. He doesn't. He doesn't mind risking it. I think that's a real quality of his.
And it's quick way. It's getting his foot in.
DKD were on form yesterday, firing all cylinders yesterday. So there's more to come, I think, from DKD.
I think we're moving about a bit, Ali. We weren't just stuck out on a wing. We were moving here and there and everywhere.
More mobile, wasn't he?
Yeah.
I think as well, there, when you're about defenders, when you sort of look at the sides in the top 6, there's Huddersfield and Birmingham that are like the nice ball playing centre halves. Wickham are in there, Wrexham are in there. Their defenders are just told to defend. Just defend, kick it, edit,
old school,
win it. Yeah, kick it, edit, win it. Wrexham, we'll come on to in a bit, but joint lowest, they've conceded 16 goals, only equal by Birmingham, who've conceded 16. So it is effective in this league. As you get into Championship, it is a little bit more of you've got to have a little bit more nous about it. But they're just Pines is a defender that wants to defend. And wants to defend in a physical manner, which is exactly what you need in this league.
As well, I don't know if you guys noticed, if you watched it on the commentary guy were on about, Ricky J. Jones is the fastest player in the EFL or something. Literally 5 minutes later, he run past Donovan Pines, and Donovan Pines were catching him. So he can't be that slow, can he? I just thought it was ironic. I just said it on comms, and then next thing it's happening, and he will catch him, but he was offside, I think.
Is that why Barry Cotter in then with his pace?
Yes, in the first 2 or 3 minutes, he tracked back, and I thought he played brilliantly yesterday as well.
Again, another one that's sort of come out and been called. When you mentioned Conor McCarthy there, Craig, have come out from nowhere. Pines a little bit as well, coming in a bit cold over this period of time, and then again Cotter, who's had 3 months out without a start.
First start 3 months, wasn't it?
And to come back in and
at left back as well, left wing.
It seems to be maturing as a player as well, because he doesn't seem to be making that. I always used to say that he didn't know what he was going to do with his feet before he did it. So he seems to be controlling that urge to just want to take everybody on every minute of every game. He seems to be controlling it a little more, and maybe wanted to retain a little bit of possession, and it's I'm liking it.
What got me yesterday with Barry when they played ball over top and they got behind us and Barry chased back to win ball.
Yeah.
He really he paid his worth.
He's rapid. Yeah. He really is. Yeah. And especially with centre backs we've got, which aren't really known for the speed, it's nice to know that you've got that Kyle Walker-esque player in your team.
Kyle Walker's not even Kyle Walker anymore, though, with his turn of pace. Andy, one thing that was sort of mentioned in the preview is we knew there'd be somehow in which Peterborough would score, just because one of their proficiency in front of goal, and two, sometimes we are prone to these errors and things. But I think in general play, barring that one save from Killip, I thought we kept them fairly quiet. And obviously, a penalty is a penalty. It was soft. So it's almost one of those to discount. But I think in general play and such, we kept them really, really quiet.
We did. They didn't have many chances, if I remember. I think that they might even have had 3 chances. I don't know if it were 3 on goal, 3 on target, or 3 in general. But they didn't have very many, and one of them is a penalty. And if you can't get that on target, then there's something seriously wrong.
There's a lot of roughing and puffing, but not much.
They did. I do think they improved when they brought Mills on for the short time he were on. I thought he looked.
Or his cameo.
I thought he looked a pretty tasty player. Started putting under pressure. The one bit, I'll not talk about the referees any more than I already have done, but there were one bit, I want to talk about linesmen, there were one bit in the second half where I think it was Jay Jones got free. It were about 1.5 yards, 2 yards offside, and Donny went flying back and got a blocking towards the goal. And then the linesman put his flag up about 30 yards further on when they're both at full pelt, one trying to cross it, one trying to block it. And I think if he's running after the ball, stop this stupid rule, put your flag up, because again, somebody's going to get hurt. If either of those players had pulled something or hurt themselves with it, then that's down to linesmen and the stupid petty rules about, for whatever reason, don't put your flag up. I don't think that's crazy.
I get why they do it in the Premier League, because it could lead to a goal and that could be overruled by VAR. But we ain't got VAR. We've only got the linesman. So why leave it a few more seconds? It don't matter if it goes in or not. If you think he's offside, he's offside.
If bloke's offside, he's running after the ball, he's interfering with play.
If you
he's
think
running after flipping ball.
If you think he's offside
30 yards later.
If you think he's offside, leaving it a few more seconds isn't going to change your mind.
No, if he's offside, he's offside.
No.
Yesterday, lads, Darren Ferguson complaining because he got booked for stepping outside zone, and then and then complaining that our coaching staff were doing the same and not getting booked.
I think he needs to stop talking about it. It were a penalty. McCarthy, although I did think it were Pines, should have been sent off for their penalty. Should have been sent. He's never even had double jeopardy. Should have been sent off. Get over yourself. It was definitely not a sending off. Weren't even a foul. So it weren't even a booking when Mills done O'Keefe. And then going out I think he needs to stop moaning, stop trying to just save his job. Look in a mirror and give Senna talking to, because that interview he made himself look an absolute drip. Stop being a prat and get on with your own bit, because he just made an idiot of himself for me.
Yeah, it did sound a little bit like someone. Grow up. Someone trying to shove the blame on a little bit, and buy a little bit more.
Please let me keep my job. Please let me keep my job. It weren't us. It weren't me. It weren't us. Oh, get over yourself.
I thought defensively they were absolutely shocking. Yeah. They were all over the place. I thought at times Sparks had a decent game at left back. Fernandez were good in air, but really on one-to-one defending, he is shockingly bad. Waters took it past him. He's not exactly rapid.
Hey, I'll have no standing against Max Waters. We've only lost one game in the 90s.
To be fair, I think he's playing well. He were 1-on-1. He were a good save by their keeper. He took it right outside of Fernandez a couple of times, got a decent crossing, but DKD didn't make the right run. Not much to complain about Waters, to be fair.
What I would say about that, Craig, with Waters, anybody, including the players that are on the pitch, you can see if Max Waters goes flying down the right wing to get a crossing, it's going along the floor to the front post. Don't go behind the defender. Cut in front of him, because it always goes in front, along the floor in the front. Do that. Do what DKD. Do what you did for your goal.
I will just say though, he's crossing into DKD, so it's pointless putting it in air.
Back stick. Yeah. Well,
I've
he
seen.
doesn't. He don't do that. He never does that. He always puts it
No.
along.
Did
And so he
did he
should.
go off injured yesterday?
Well, he went off, didn't we?
That's
He went
injury,
off with
isn't
his ankle. So I hope it's
it?
not. Let's hope it's not. It's just a precaution, and it's not that
I
he's
think
going
I've
to be
seen
out again. So he
DKD
don't
win
need
3
that.
headers this season, and all 3 has been wide open in box, and not one's been on target.
Didn't he
He
have on
did
it first
yesterday.
couple of minutes at game and he put it over?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just not
Strictly
I
bit
was
been.
like,
header.
just glance it. You don't even need to get your head on it. Just let your head do the work because it were
Well,
on target.
I
He's
almost
been taking
admire
heading
how
lessons from O'Keefe. Threepenny bit headers.
I've I almost admire how poor he's at heading because it is not good. Right, get your thoughts on yesterday's game down in the comments below. Did you think it was sending off? Did you think it was a penalty? And are we now back to being more profligate in front of goal? We've seen a bit of a dry spell recently, but seen especially over the last 2 that we've, especially from set pieces, become a lot more proficient. So get your thoughts down in the comments below. Right. January is round the corner. January sales have already started because that's what they do these days. And Huddersfield have already started signing players. And I'm pretty sure they nearly, I think they announced them just before Christmas Day, didn't they? Were that early. So we'll briefly speak about it whilst we've got chance, not to make the show too long. But Craig, I think it's very obvious in which positions we need to strengthen, and I think every fan knows that, especially when you look at the last couple of weeks where we've just not been proficient enough in front of goal. Like I said in the last show, I don't know now if we could have potentially overtaken Stockport and had the most shots in the league, but we sit about 15 goals behind the team that scored the most, which is Wickham, who've had 50 shots or something less than us, maybe even more. So it's clear there's a little bit of a finishing issue we've got, but at the same time, only 4 clean sheets this season as well. So there is defensive frailties, which on that balance, where would you like to see us strengthen in January?
In goal, I think in goal, left back, striker. I think they're the 3 positions I would like to see strengthened. First team goalkeeper is an absolute must, especially if Selena, by reports, is going back. We need somebody in. Some people are saying Sam Tickle. Personally don't think we can afford him. I don't think we're going to let buy him off him anyway. If not, the fans will go absolutely mental. But yeah,
You'll
we need
upset
a.
Wigan, that's for sure.
Well, I've always liked Sean Ruffin at left back because he can always fill in at centre back as well. I think he's been a very good defender for in this league for quite a while. And I think he could step up to Championship maybe. And up top, I was looking at some strikers, and I think Ben House could be a good striker for us, or possibly somebody that we could afford as well. I think we'd probably be, you know, half a mil to maybe a mil in between there for him. But I think honestly, I don't think we. I think we're 2 or 3 good signings away from being a real um, playoff contender.
And I agree with that goalkeeper, left back, and striker. To be fair, I think that's sort of where we are lacking. Andy, anywhere that you'd add to that, or are you sort of the same as Craig?
No, not really. Not really. And I agree, Sam Tickle would be perfect, but there's no way on earth. Yeah, I think
I
it's
think he signed a new contract in the summer as well, so his
best
contract
goalkeeper in
runs
the
out in
division.
28.
If we're talking goalkeepers that we know about, Connor Southwood, I thought was good. I hoped we were in for him, but we weren't, and he went
Good
to
shout.
Bolton, and he's not played. He's their substitute goalkeeper, if you like, or reserve, always on the bench. I think he's a really good goalkeeper. There must be others about, but I think we're absolutely right. Craig's absolutely right. It showed, we needed to give George again to a bit of a break, so many games, and so Barry Cotter, who was, as Craig says, played well, but he's out of position out on the out on the left. When he's on the right, he can go down the line like an exocet. He don't do so much of that um, on the left because it's left foot, so he tends to cut in a lot, which is sometimes good, but it's not always playing to his strengths. Although he did do well. So I do think we need some cover that with there. We're a suspension or an injury away from having a bit of a problem out there. as it stands. And up front, absolutely up front, and Ben House is a good shot. Among others, there's a load of others that are about that's not getting in their team or in and out of their teams. Luton, there's Joe Taylor, there's just to cheer Alan up. There's tumble down Ted at Bolton. He could. We wouldn't want him, would we, Al? We wouldn't want Dion, would we, Al? No, Al won't want Dion.
No, not a King Charles Spaniel, no.
No, he don't want Dion. So there's a few about. Sam Cosgrove came on, but he's not had much game time at all, and there's a reason for that. I don't know what it is. I don't know if he's still if his injury is not cleared up, if he's not doing it in training, or what I actually think as the head coach possibly doesn't fancy him. I've said it before in very recent shows, so I'll get fed up about talking about transfer windows. If he's not going to be played, then we need to get somebody that will play, particularly as Max Waters, who knows if he's going to be injured. It could easily happen again, get an injury, and we're struggling up front, with Fabio out. We're struggling up front, so we need somebody to make a difference. Because in great scheme of things, although I thought DKD played really, really well yesterday, for me, he's a midfield player playing up front. He's better playing just behind two strikers. So for that, I think it's absolutely crucial that we get a striker, and that's whether Sam Cosgrove moves on for his own benefit or we want him to move on. Whether or not we need a quality striker, goalkeeper and quality striker, particularly. They're the ones to spend if we've got any money, which presumably we ain't got much, if any. But they're where we need to strengthen, specifically for me, up top and right at the back.
Ali, do you know you'd add to it? So when we look, especially over that period where we sort of drew to Reading, and there were a couple of games where we just weren't proficient in front of goal. There was that 2-2 draw with Reading. But in the same vein, if we kept clean sheets in them games, we've won them, and that sort of the question mark over his finishing's not that much of a big talking point because we've kept a clean sheet and we stay in the game. And when you look at Matt Roberts' age, and I don't think when we signed him in the summer we would have expected him to be featured as much as he has done this season, especially he's 34 now, and his injury record's not been brilliant, especially at Birmingham. I think we've done well to keep him so fresh and play so much so far this season already. And then Joshua as well picking up injury. Would you add a centre half to that? Maybe someone that could come in and make a bit of a difference, potentially to almost like succeed Roberts as he gets a little bit older. Because we've got Pines that almost fits the mould of Roberts of being sort of a big, strong centre half.
I don't think in this window we need that. I agree with Craig what we want, to be honest. We're on about goalkeepers. Harry Eisted, is he available? Would he come back? I don't know. That's one to throw in. I suppose that's in the remit of what we can afford. And what was going around yesterday from Andy Wilson, a couple more at Peterborough, there was a player there yesterday with number 26. And on our squad, there's no player with number 26. And I don't know if you can see what I put up here, if you can see the guy.
No.
I think Conor McCarthy 26.
I don't know if it's Conor McCarthy, but there were a guy there.
21.
And they were saying, who is he?
And who is he, Al?
I've no idea who he was. Nobody's an idea who he was. Is it somebody who's come in and they're going to announce him straight away?
It weren't you, Al, were it? With number 26 on your back.
No, that's 26th of January, birthday.
Craig
Harry Eisted moved to Burton and is basically a bench warmer for him, so it could be an option.
Good.
Dickie, get up for my son.
We'll get Dickie instead as middleman.
I think it might be that ship sailed. I think we expected to sign him when Michael Duff left, and then didn't for whatever.
Well, it's just said though. I don't think it was a club's decision. I think it was down to Harry himself. He decided to go to Charlton.
For money, and you can't blame him for that. But you make your bed, don't you? I'd like to see him back. I think he's a decent goalkeeper. But
I don't see. I'll be honest. I don't see him as a long-term number one. I think
no.
I think it'd almost be like he was the season he came of almost a stopgap for a year or two. I'd rather someone come in and like Adam Davies and Brad Collins when they were sort of there to be number one for a bulk of time. I just think, no disrespect to Harry Eisted at all, I just think there's better options out there. for me that I'd rather see us go for. To be honest, go on.
Sorry, it's not 26. It's 29. I'm just double checked.
No
So it's
idea.
2 players out.
Marsh,
Yeah,
isn't it?
right.
There's Marsh.
No,
isn't there?
Marsh is
19.
19.
So
Ah.
it's put Andy Wilson, but who's number 29 warming up with team?
I can't wait for this to come out to be one of academy players, and they've just not announced. Like when it's the first game, they get properly assigned a squad number or something like that.
Well, to be honest, I've looked at team and there's no 29 in first team.
Interesting.
Squad numbers.
You
You
definitely
could
can't.
be Miss Marple, Al. You could ferry to Bartal like Miss Marple and find out for us.
I feel like you
Look,
definitely can't just
down.
let players warm up as
You're
well
right.
that aren't part of the squad.
I'm
look a
more
bit
like,
like-
Andy. I'm more like Inspector Clouseau.
Yeah, well, there is that to it. You look a bit like Margaret Rutherford from a certain angle, Al, so it could be that.
Oh,
I'm waving.
That cut me deep, Al.
Number 29 is a player called Connor Barrett for the under-21s.
There we go.
Connor Barrett.
Yeah, that's
Nice
what it
one.
was.
I knew it to come out of the under 21s player.
Just call
So
me
you were
Sherlock.
Poirot,
I'm here all
Cheers,
week.
Cheers, Craig.
Hercule, and Miss Marple together.
How long did that take to work out, Craig?
Little grey matter, little grey cells.
About
Craig
20
sorted it.
about 20 seconds. Right, get your Christmas or New Year's wish list down in the comments below. What areas would you strengthen in? Is there any players in particular you'd like us to look at to try and sign this window? And yeah, we'll discuss it a little bit more as we get into January and as signings are, fingers crossed, made. Right, looking forward then to New Year's Day and the visit of Disney FC. So, looking at Wrexham's stat pack, manager Phil Parkinson, not much has changed to be fair because we only played a month ago. So manager Phil Parkinson, top goal scorer, has now changed from Marriott to Elliot Lee, who's got 6. Sat second in the league, form, win, draw, win. So unbeaten at least in the last 5. Key player, Ryan Barnett from wing back. Formation, 3-5-1-1. And Wrexham, and the key stats, as mentioned earlier, Wrexham have the joint best defence in the league, ownership in 16 goals in the 23 games, and also they have the oldest stadium in international football at the Racecourse Ground, which was built, I don't know what to say out of them two, in 1877, and Wales hosted their first ever international friendly there as well. So, Andy, it was only about 3 weeks ago we were speaking about playing Wrexham when we played them away. It's one of those games that's come around so quickly. How would you feel about this one? Because I'll be honest, I will sort of hang my hat up. I don't think they're going to be up there come the end of the season. I definitely don't think they get top 2. I think they might get into playoffs, but there's just something about them that there's just something about them I just don't like, and I think they've got 12 good players, and I think as soon as they start getting injury suspensions, then we'll start to see how good they actually really are. Because I think at the minute they've been grinding out results, which is what you want to see from the side at the top, but I just don't believe in their quality or the ability to do it for a full season. They've done all right for the first half of the season, but Wycombe have got a game in hand to sort of go back into that second place. Birmingham are going to be long gone because they've got 2 games hand over them. And Huddersfield are there sort of within a shout as well. I just don't think they're going to have enough to get into that top 2.
Keep grinding the results out. You can only play who you're playing against. They did on Boxing Day against Wigan what they did against us. They scored in added time, and you can't. It's what teams do. Play till the last whistle and keep going and keep going. And they've done it again. It looked all in like 0-0 against us, 1-1 against Wigan, and yet in this particular one, Stephen Fletcher pops up. He's a handful. I know he's knocking on, but he's a handful and a half. He's just there. He moves about. He's got it. He's got it in his head. He moves about. It irritates the life out of me because obviously he played for Sheffield Wednesday. So you've got to dislike him on the basis of that, haven't you? But that apart, no matter how old he is a quality player that moves about and causes trouble for defenders. He's often not started. He often comes on. But Elliot Lee didn't start on Boxing Day. But he's a good player. He didn't do so much for us, but he's there, like you say, he's their top scorer. They've got a few. They've got Mullins that sometimes plays, sometimes don't play. They've got the player that everybody loves to hate, except me. I don't care. Plays the same what he does. James McLean. He's what 35, but he puts a good cross in. You know, he don't have to plough up and down. He gets ball and he can put a good cross. He's got a good left foot, and I think they've got possibly the best right back knocking about. Barnsley, I think he's an outstanding fullback wing. He's causing all sorts of trouble. He can score, but the assists he's got are quite ridiculous. Youthful, they just don't stop. They grind people down. They're not the purest of teams, you know. They don't pass it about like the Barcelona, but they're effective, and that's what the second. You know, the second Wickham looked like they were miles away, miles ahead of everybody else, with them having to try and catch up, and they've caught them up. I know Wickham's got a game in hand, but you know, they're there in second. They're not in second because they're lucky. They're there in second because they keep going until the referee blows the final whistle. I mean, it could be because it's Hollywood. It could be that referees waiting for them to score like Man United used to have, wait for them to score before you blow a whistle, next goal winner and all that. Which is, I'm only joking. Don't take on Wrexham fans. I think they've been a real outstanding team so far this season because they play to the strengths and they're winning games. And they're building it on, as Craig said about us having a goalkeeper, they built it on their defence. Hardly conceded. So many games. Would you say it was 16 goals in 23? That's an incredible stat for this part of the season. I hope it all goes horribly wrong for them on New Year's Day, but you can't expect more than that, can you? 16 goals in 23 games. That's build from the back. You know, build your success from the back, and that's what they're doing. Then you can joke about them being Disney and Hollywood and all that lot, but they're a workmanlike team that have got some skills and some bits of ability. The two wing backs up front, and they've got Rathbone in midfield. That don't let him run with the flipping ball. Just don't let him run with it. Have somebody, you know, as it gets on, because he played really really well against us and scored a really good goal. Irritating from our point of view, but a really good goal from their point of view. So we've got to be on our mettle because they are no mugs, far from being mugs.
Al, it is a little bit of a difficult one with Wrexham because you can look at sort of two sides. Andy said that they don't concede, so they're always in a game. All they need is that one chance, that one opportunity, and then it's almost like if they score first, it's going to be difficult because they don't concede many at all. But the other side of when you look at it, the couple of 90th minute winners in which they have had, you can be like, it's a little bit when you look at the goal scoring against us, it was just poor defending of no one coming out to close Rathbone down and eventually he scores. And it's a little bit frustrating like that. But when you sort of look at the quality in which you do have Stephen Fletcher, James McLean, they are good players, but they are players who are very much not knocking on. And you like to think we play to a strength of we've clearly going to have a younger side than them. So put it on them a bit more, which I expect us to do at home as opposed to when we played away against them.
I'm hoping we can sort out the blockbuster team and make them down to a B team. It's going to be difficult. As I said, we deserved a point at Wrexham, but then we switched off, didn't we? In additional time, you know, we did well against them. You know, they didn't break us down as much, and then it was just that drive straight through a straight down middle and a shot into bottom corner, wasn't it? What did us? And then Fletcher come off bench again, I think, on Boxing Day and 70 minutes. So he's got 20 minutes in. When you've got players of the calibre of the players they've got to come on, and you're only giving them 20, 15 minutes, they're all the same way a chance to win a game and snatch a game. And it were 90 plus 2 against us and 90 plus 1 against Wigan. So you've got to play for 95 minutes. You know, you've got to have your head screwed on. And I think our lads will have their head screwed on and they won't let a late goal in again on New Year's Day. And I think Gaffer will drill that into him, that we've got to be on his mettle.
Craig, it is one of those against Wrexham, like it's a newly promoted side, but when you sort of look at the standard in which has come up this season, you look at Stockport, Mansfield, Wrexham, and Crawley have had a bit of a upturn in form over recent weeks, and after selling their entire team in the summer, they've finally got their feet under them a little bit. I think they're now out of the relegation zone or close to being out of it. It's not one of those where you look at a start of season, you think, oh well, like we should be beating them as such. They are, they've got the money behind them. You've seen the quality of players which are brought in over the summer and sort of built on what they have got. So it is one of those games where you look at it and think, I'm not sure which way that one's going to go.
Yeah, I think it's. I think Wrexham have been flawless since they come up. I think, like I said, I thought we did it in pre-season prediction that it was going to be a really hard league. Seeing teams coming down, teams coming up. I think it's refreshed the league as well. I think it went a bit stale. Obviously, seeing us, Bolton, always trying to fight out for who's going up, and I don't know. It's refreshing to see some new teams come into the division and probably get rid of some of the fodder that's been lingering with relegation for far too long. The likes of Burton, I'm thinking, and such like. But yeah, I mean, you look at Wrexham and they are built to defend and counter attack, and they don't care who. Everybody knows it. It's just trying to stop them. I think key to their team is their three centre backs, Cleworth, O'Connor, and Brunt. They haven't dropped. They haven't lost with them three at centre back all season. The only times they have lost is when Scars had to come in. They've even got the goalkeepers third choice, and they're still winning. The last 6 wins have all been by 1 goal only. It's an absolute.
It's often been 1-0, hasn't it, as well?
It is what champions are made of. Winning games by 1 goal and getting through. I think they're a fantastic team, and I think they've, Disney FC and all this. I think it's funny, but they're doing everything right. They're doing it. I wish we could be that. That they seem to have employed the right people in the right positions to do the right job. They seem to listen to the manager and with what he says he wants, so they go out and get it, and they don't no expense spared. We're going to back you. We're going to give you what you need. They've got experience. They've got youth. They've got pace. They've got doggedness. They're just a really good team, and I'm showing them to be, if not automatic, they're definitely going to be in second, third come end of the season, just because unless this back three gets
to
injuries, sending offs, anything like that. With Rathbone as well. Rathbone has been a consistent in midfield for them all season. Everybody else seems to be rotated around them. Cannon comes in and out. James comes in and out. Wing backs also. You got McLean and Barrett, and they seem to be stalwarts as well. But the strikers often get changed, and the midfielders often get changed, except Rathbone. And I think that's why they're doing so well, because the people that are running in their team are the midfielders and the strikers, and they're keeping them fresh consistently. But the people that don't do the running but do the hard defending, they're there every game. So they're building them relationships with each other. They know what each other's going to do, and I think that is absolutely why they are as good as they are, and they're doing as well as they are. Whether they can keep that up all season, that's yet to be seen, especially when injuries come into it. But yeah, I'll be looking at the team sheet and hoping that one of them might have picked up a niggle in training, and then send them three centre backs, because Cleworth, I think, for a youngish guy, I think is really doing well.
And we've not played them since 5th of April 2005 at Oakwell in League One, and it was a 2-2 draw.
What a stat that is.
Yeah, I was just going to say we're talking about them being Disney FC, Hollywood FC, and what have you. I think, Josh, me and you have got Agatha Christie FC with these two down.
I know.
With Miss Marple and Hercule Poirot.
You best believe you've got any comments on that, Al will be researching them.
He's got a look of it as well. Phil Parkinson, we've got to give him some credit. He's had ups and downs in his managerial career. I think more ups than downs, but he's a clever manager. He's pulling together players, and as Craig says, he can rotate without it causing any disruption. And that takes some doing, because you would think, keep rotating players, it's going to be disruptive. They've got a style of play that they all buy into and all play the same way, and that's down to the, whatever you want to call him, head coach, manager. So Phil Parkinson should be taking some bows for the way they.
He's a good tactician as well, Andy.
Oh, that's out.
Phil Parkinson.
Oh, that he's got to take some.
Never underrate the guy.
No.
I think it's because Disney checkbox backed him. I think.
Oh, that's helped. Let's not twist it. That's helped.
I think he's underperforming. Should be 10 points clear of Birmingham.
But I can't see how our owners couldn't do the same as what their owners are doing. That's my only thing.
Okay, Pluto.
Probably that celebrity ownership that's got ties with American outlets and has allowed them to expand into America and get weird.
We have Billy Bean.
And get weird, just some baseball bloke that uses Excel.
I'm sure Julie can get Kate Moss on for us.
I just up on New Year's Day is the fall guy.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
I think you'll find that they're Incredibles, because they've done so well this season.
Wow, good one. I like that one, Andy.
Oh, I love that one, didn't he? Look at the smugness on him.
I like that one. Predictions.
Rest in face, Craig.
Predictions, Andy. A little update of where because we have had a fair few games. Well, it's been a very, very frantic festive period, as it always is.
And I like to give people who've done well in it a shout out. So it's been difficult because so many games. After the Wrexham game, I'll put together the league table. I haven't done it over Christmas, over the 3 games over the Christmas period so far, because it'll be changing every 2 days, and it's Christmas. I wanted a break and all. So I'm taking you back. Cast your mind back to Orient. 0-0. 48 predictions for Orient. 42 said we'd win. Oh dear. 3 said we'd draw. 3 said we'd lose. Nobody said that we'd lose. 4-0. There are a few people. George Webster, Little Al, he said we'd lose 1-0, so we were a bit hurt. And Bailey Allett said we'd lose 2-1, so got it right. And the only other one that said 2-0, so the one nearest to it, 2-0, were Robert Howard. So would just like to say on behalf of us to Robert to get well soon, because he's informed us and is happy for us to share that he's been diagnosed on Christmas Eve with heart failure. So we don't want it to get any worse, and keep strong and hope things start to improve for you generally, Robert. So I'll stick in this thing up. So then we come to Bolton, and of course I'm thinking we've lost 4-0 at home. We're going on Boxing Day to Bolton. We're all going to be down and out. Nobody's going to predict a Barnsley win. But in fact, again, there were 48 predictions. 23 said that Bolton would win, 7 said a draw, but 18 said that we'd win at Bolton. And remarkably, bearing in mind 4-0, remarkably, 10 people said we'd win 2-1. So, and this pains me, so the people that are Nostradamus of that bank holiday, Tom Webster said 2-1. So did Ems Mooshu, so did little Olivia Mooshu. She said 2-1. Andrew Morris said 2-1. Michael Brewer said 2-1. Dave Booth, our sponsor, Dave Booth, said 2-1. Nick Nutt, who often don't get it right, said 2-1. Mark the Red, who's usually pretty good, says 2-1. Michael Hodgson, who again gets it pretty much right, said 2-1. As did John Connolly. And if I've missed somebody out, I'm so sorry, because I don't think I have. I think I've got you all in. Yeah. So then you think, we're feeling a bit better then. 47, so 1 less predictor. So come on, sort your sends out with predictions. We need to up them. 48, 47. It's going the wrong way. Needs to get up. Needs to go up. So we had 47 predictions. 33. We're playing away. 33. It just shows you we're so fickle, aren't we? We're up and we're down and we're down and we're up. Win at Bolton. 33 said we were going to win. Only 2 people said we'd lose. That Peterborough would win. I'm going to name them. 2 people said Peterborough would win. Can't get my breath with it. Just can't get my breath with it. So John Connolly. Oh, John, you did so well last time. He said we'd lose. Not right, that John. Not right. I'm not
Keep the faith.
He really takes it personal, doesn't he?
Me. Well, it is. 47 people. Up your game. Come on. There's a new prediction league. Up your game. So we had 6 people. 6 people out of 33. Most people thought that we'd win 3-2 or 2-1. But 3-1. So the Dunners. The Dunners, Craig. They did me and Craig. The Dunners with the 2. So they said 3-1. We've got Dean Pudfat. Well done, Dean. It's about time you got one right. Well done, Dean. Pleased for you. Lee Howson, who were a regular predictor, and he's not predicted for ages, so he makes a comeback straight in with correct one. Come on, Lee, pull it, sort it out now from now on, Craig.
I don't trust
Lee,
Lee
come on.
Howson.
Eh?
I don't trust Lee.
Well, it is a 3-1 10 minutes after the final whistle, though, but, I'll let it stand. I'm only kidding, Lee. Don't take on. It's too big for me to argue with. Andy Morris. Andy Morris said 3-1, couldn't. Phil Tyke said 3-1. So did Russell Frost, one of our supporters, Russell Frost. Thank you, Russell. Super Reds, he said 3-1. It's about time somebody did. So, all in all, it were a good day for our supporters and for the club. And you'll get to.
We had a dodgy ref. I'd have got me Phillips 3-0.
Well,
dodgy ref. I complain. Dodgy ref. Dodgy ref.
You see, you blame dodgy ref. Me, I blame Johnny Russell not passing it. Just placing it beautifully past goalkeeper. It's not on. Not happy.
You and Craig's 2-1.
I think he should shoot with his left foot more often.
Yeah.
Maybe just
lean forward. Don't lean. If you lean back, it's going to go over. It's going to go over a stand, isn't it? Going to hit the International Space Station. Lean forward when you're shooting. Lean forward and smack it. It'll keep
head over ball. Get head over ball every time.
So well done to all the Nostradamuses that had. It weren't. They didn't have chicken dinners this time. I think you've had enough turkey, so get back to chicken dinners and get to Kentucky. You deserve some.
Festive. We might as well stay with you, Andy, for what's your prediction then for the weekend?
Oh, it's 2-1. No two ways about it.
New Year's Day, sorry.
2-1. Instead of 16 goals, they're going to concede 18 goals.
Oof.
I'm going for another 3-1. I'm confident, unless I've had too much to drink.
You have, Al.
Yeah, you have.
Simply have, Al, yeah. Simply.
What?
16 goals in 23 matches, Alan. You're saying they're going to concede 3.
Wouldn't that make it
I'm pushing it at 2.
So that mean 15% of their goals conceded would have come in that one game?
Yeah.
Ish? Something about that?
Well, aren't we due to put the curse of Oakwell behind us? And why not start
Not
on
really.
It's
there for a purpose. It's there for a reason, Al.
Old year out, new year win.
Is that a New Year resolution, Al? We're going to score 3 goals. That could be the new thing. An Alan special 3-1. It's not going to ring to it, though, Al. Not going to ring.
He's not going to get many points either.
No.
Craig?
I'm sorry, I'm going to have to beat Scrooge. I think it's going to be a 2-1 loss. I think I don't expect his own form to get any better until we start. Well, you never know. It could do, but I don't think it's going to change against Wrexham. I think they're too strong. And I think they're going to do exactly what they did to us and get a smash and grab at last minute.
I tend to agree with that, Craig.
That's brought it down, Craig. We're all so giddy.
Sorry, it's a prediction.
Yeah. Where's all the positivity gone, Craig?
I like it.
All right, you're talking, Craigie. What are you talking about, Al? He's Captain Mannering. We're doomed.
I think I'm going to go. I do like your thinking there, Craig. I think we're going to win 1-0.
What's that Craig's thinking?
Yeah, just more that it's not going to be 3-1. And they've got a chance, but I don't. There's just something about this Wrexham side I just don't fancy him. I think it's been more luck than ability from sneaking these goals. And he's going to run out. New year, new light, new vibes. It's going to be different for him. Going to fall away in this second half of the season. And it's going to start with a 1-0 defeat at Oakwell.
Do a Chef Wednesday.
Yeah, that's exactly what we're going to do.
And hopefully it'll be a happy new year in town.
Well, you bought whiskey for Christmas, Al. Is that what?
I know he keeps showing us that glass.
You got a
I
new
don't know
television?
why.
Every show, I'm drinking milk and Alan's
Hold
knocking
on.
whiskies back.
You like my Christmas present?
Is that all that's left?
How old are we? Getting his Christmas presents out.
Hey, it's not being full, that. It's only part.
Oh, you said
No.
that.
I saw a picture on Christmas Day. It was full of that.
It was full last. It was full on last show.
That's all you need to know about it. Right. We'll be back on New Year's Day with an instant reaction to the Wrexham game, as well as a preview to Crawley at the weekend. Yeah, fingers crossed for a positive start to the new year, and hopefully, as Al said, we can put the curse of Oakwell behind us, and we can start 2025 with a bang, with 3 points against Wrexham, then roll into Crawley, beat them, and before you know it, we're set top of the league.
No one too much then.
Happy New
Who
Year
knows?
to all Red All Over fans. There you go.
Yes, Happy New Year's. This will be the last year we're doing until the new year. So we'll see you all in 2025. See you later. You Reds.